Hey friends, it's Amber and welcome to day 3 of my week in life for Wednesday. Let's go over photos first and then I'll pull out my products. So I've got a couple different stories for today. Super early work day. Wednesdays are usually my dedicated inventory day at my job. So I've got my alarm screenshot. I've got like a blurry steamed up mirror shot with towel on my head. Just a simple shot of myself at work. I kind of had forgotten to like take any all day. It was pretty busy. So just a selfie working on the computer. My weather shot of the day and my Wordle for the day, which I was proud of. I got 2. After that, I went to the local mall. I had some returns and I also did a little shopping. So I went to Bath and Body Works, got a new candle. I was checking out their candles. And I also stopped by Torrid, tried on a dress and bought a dress. So then I thought it was fun to take a shot of my purse on the car seat with my 2 bags in the car. Just kind of a, something that you see all the time when you go shopping, but don't always have a photo of. I stopped at Crumble on the way home. So part of that story will be, I have a 10 by 4 photo here and I wrote the names of the cookies that I got, and I'm going to take some stickers and rate them with stickers what I thought of the flavors. So that'll be a 10 by 4. This part of the box that I trimmed out will be a 10 by 4, and I love that there's pink in this week's flavors, so that'll be fun. And I think I'm only going to trim this instead of a full 10 by 4. I think I'm going to keep this at like 7, and then this 3 by 4 of the outside of the shop is going to go on there as well. That has the journaling, so that'll be a little trilogy there. I also stopped by Target, so I have a shot of the outside of my Target. I forgot to take any cool photos of myself while shopping, of course, because I was distracted trying to get stuff off my list. So I took a shot of my shopping cart. And sorry, I've got some stuff all over here. They're kind of mixed up over different parts here. So then I also had, I'm trying to show off when I use apps and things. So I have a screenshot of the Target app showing how much I spent, how much I saved. And then I bought 14 items there. Because I needed this to go in a 4 by 4 block, that's all I could show. I couldn't really pull a 3 by 4. I didn't feel like messing with it to make it smaller. And I also took a shot at the self-checkout, which I forgot to make a note saying that I did self-checkout, but whatever. So then I have, it started raining, and that was the beginning of like our 10-day rain day week. It was crazy. So I have a shot of the windshield wipers going in the rainy car ride on the way home. You can see there's like nobody in front of me. So, and then on the back side of that, I have a photo of myself from the inside of my washing machine. So I thought that would be fun. So this one will go first and then that one second. It was nice to have some enlarged ones. And this is a photo I've never taken before. And it was just kind of like inviting, with that big graphic circle and the contrast. So I thought that would be fun. And then Jarrett made dinner, and so I took a photo of him cooking, and I also just kind of took a shot down of like the pan, the cheese, and the tortillas, and then a shot of my tortilla before I rolled it up. And then I also had a shot of the washer from the outside, a shot of myself folding clothes that's in our bedroom. Like I just propped my phone up against the pillow and put a timer on. And then this is also going to be in the 10 by 4 enlargements, just showing all the rain on my tiger lilies outside getting ready to bloom. And I'll probably just pair that with some pattern paper and just use that as like a place to add some color in, because it did not crop well at 10 by 4 because of the way I took it. And I couldn't even really get it at like a 7 by 4 to put a 3x4 next to it, so it's 6x4, and I'll have a 4x4 block. And I believe, yep, that's everything. So today was more about like my out and about stuff, not necessarily like a ton of like nighttime photos or, you know, things like that, but I had a lot going on. So this will be fun. Got my little bit of ephemera to add. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab out my Wednesday products here. So I need to cut down a 9x12 page protector. Here's my Wednesday transparency. So it's been nice having myself like organized with everything. So even though I can't do a ton of work in advance, it's been nice having the products just like already gathered and in the album. A little bit of a time saver, so I'm not hunting for them later. So I have my Wednesday timeline card. I already got that printed and ready to go. I did them all at the same time because I was using up the sticker paper. I've got a lot of pink today, which I love, which it also works out great because it has the crumble on it. That was totally unplanned. So I've got lots of pink. This card's pink. That's why I chose this one in pink. The chipboard labels also pink. I'll have to figure out which photo that's going on. And then I'm going to do my same. This one doesn't have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but it has lunch, dinner, and a snack. I'm going to use the snack word. Because I think for breakfast, a lot of times I just have like a protein drink, so it's hard to photograph. So that'll probably also be why I won't be able to do this much further past this day. So, and then my Wednesday card and my Wednesday journaling. So I'm excited to get started. Like I said, a lot of this is going to be the same as the previous 2 days, but it's still always fun trying to figure out where everything goes, where the embellishments are going to end up, and all that. So I definitely still plan to add some transparency, add some pattern paper, and add some tags. So we'll see if I can get something fun on the notes here. And I keep forgetting that there's some blanks on here, so I could always stamp my own, but looking forward to working on this day just with all the fun bright colors. We'll see how it ends up. Okay friends, first thing I'm doing is cutting down that 9x12 page protector into the 6 pocket. I had a question from someone about one of the previous days, so I showed a little bit more here. Hopefully that's a little more obvious. I repunched the holes using my 1/4 inch power punch, and now just starting the process of getting all of my photos into position. So these are going to change a tiny bit from what you're seeing here, but I'm just trying to get my morning and afternoon photos in the correct places on either side of the page protector. I'm trying to keep in mind that I'm probably going to have some extra cards in this one and a see-through pocket. So just trying to determine where those are going to go. Just organizing my cards here. We've got dinner photos, laundry photos, Target photos. So just trying to figure out what order I want to put them in and where they're going to be going. So I kind of had planned on an extra page protector, but the way everything worked out, I didn't really need it. I'm going to group those Target photos together and create a flip up, which you'll see later on. I am going to end up not using that plant photo at all. I'm going to have to push that to another day if I use it. I just didn't have enough content once I realized that I wasn't using an extra page protector, so I needed to kind of shrink things down. So here I'm just grabbing a ruler and trying to figure out how far down I need to trim this crumble cookies. And I forgot about the fact that everything in these pockets is a 1/4 inch wider. So I cut it to exactly 7 inches with my 3-inch photo, and you'll see that there's like a gap. So I need to space it out with a tiny little strip of pattern paper, which has been my go-to so far in this album. But there I'm just pulling out my larger trimmer to get it down to that 7 inches. I love my We Are Memory Keepers 6x8 trimmer because the majority of the things I need to cut are small enough to fit on there. I just once in a while, of course, have to pull out the bigger trimmer. So you can see there's that gap, and I did pull out an extra piece of that box that I cut off, but I decided instead of trying to piece it back together, I would just go with pattern paper instead. And I originally had these on the front because they were something that was an earlier part of my day, but based on where I needed to put my enlargements, it made sense for me to put the cookie photos at the end of the day and have like the enlargement of me in the washing machine near the photos that related to washing machine as well. So I flipped them around to the back, and that's when I made that decision to pull out the plant photo. Because even those washing machine photos I had planned to put into a page protector. That's why I had trimmed them to 6x4 and 4x4, but I ended up just grouping them together to make a 10x4, and that was how that ended up looking. So just keeping going with the flow and enjoying how that's coming together. So now I'm starting the process of planning where embellishments are going to go. So I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit. You see I'm looking at the tags here. I'm going to trim out that bright yellow one. It actually coordinates really well with the Doritos in that photo of my taco. For now, I'm going to keep slipping things into pockets until I'm ready to commit and make a final decision. That green chipboard there is from the Now kit. That is going to go on that photo, but I'm not going to place it down quite yet. And here I'm just pulling out these, I can't remember if they're 2.5 or 3-inch transparency circles that were part of the kit. Just trying to find a sentiment that will work. I didn't really love the Making It Through Everyday Chaos, but it made the most sense out of all of them for what I was doing. So just kind of going back through and seeing what I've got, and now I'm ready to work on my transparent pocket. So just holding up my Wednesday circle and seeing where it will make sense color-wise with the flowers. And I'm going to do that same trick where I make it a sticker and add it to some white printer paper so it's not quite so see-through and it can be more visible against the transparency, and so that the other side is easier to see as well. I'm not sure if I film all of that or if it's just something that will be seen, kind of off camera. So it's kind of flipping through. Here's where I'm going to start using some cards from the Now kit. I consider that tan one again with one of the transparent circles, but I'm going to bag that idea and go with the sentiment card that I've been trying to use all along. It's a nice dark color, which works well because I'm wearing black in one of the photos in my jacket, and my screenshot of my background on my phone is black. So it just kind of helps move your eye around the page. And so I started to put it in that left corner pocket, and I realized it was black and black on the far left. It was too much. So I'm just kind of moving things around a bit. And then I'm pulling out my daily little chipboard circle. I was going to do the Stuff I Love one because it was about shopping, but the color was very purpley and it just didn't really match. So I switched it out for the Today's Story, which is more pink, and that seemed to coordinate better. And I briefly considered putting it on one of the photos before deciding just to stick with the pattern I've got going and adding it to the pie chart looking transparent circle in the pocket. Right now I have that Wednesday chipboard tag on the Right Now card, and that's going to get replaced with the flower pattern paper from Heidi Swap that I've been using. And I'm just trying to find a home for that Wednesday tag, and I'm going to end up pairing it on that enlargement photo. So here's where I'm cutting out the pattern paper. I picked a part of it that had some navy blue, and just trimming that out using one of my Simple Stories photo cards. And there you can see where I backed everything with the white printer paper so that it's not see-through anymore and pops out. Getting ready to add the chipboards with red line tape on the outside of the page protector. Just helps prevent them from puckering too much. and adds a little texture and dimension. And I'm going to grab one of those tiny little flower chipboards and add it to the outside. I was going to go with the really little one, but changed my mind. And halfway through all this process, I realized I never thought of a 3x8 vertical photo. So I went through and found one of my kitty hanging out on the bed. So just printed that out, getting it attached, trimming around the edges, repunching the holes. And then I'm going to add that little tiny strip of paper that I've been doing. Got that little pattern paper everywhere in this album, but I actually really love it. It's just adding fun color everywhere. So I'm just going to use my 6-hole punch there. I get a lot of questions about which one I use. I have a Recollections one, but I don't think they make it at Michael's anymore, but that's from the planner section. So if it still exists, good luck finding it. It's a great punch. There I'm adding the 1/8 inch Gina K Terrific tape to the outside. And then I'll just lay the pattern paper right on there and trim around it once again. And this time I did not add a tag to the photo. I just let it be on its own. Whereas the previous Monday and Tuesdays I added a tag. I had room for it. I just didn't want to force it. And every single day does not need to be identical. Even though I'm making a lot of similar embellishment choices, I chose not to. So here I'm just getting my 2 enlargements grouped together. I'm kind of skipping through that, getting the holes punched with my punch template there. And now I'm going to use some red line tape to adhere that piece of chipboard. Kind of just nestling it down inside where the landscaping sort of to help draw your eye into the photo. And now I'm using my little pink chipboard of the day, and I'm going to use these Heidi Swap puffy stickers again to spell out Laundry Day. I thought that would be cute and a good place to put that, because there's no journaling on either photo. I mean, what was I going to say? Here's a photo of laundry. You know, like it's kind of self-explanatory, but that's the whole point of these chipboards that I've been using, is just to add a little kind of title on non-journaled photos. So just getting that stuck down in place and adding an evening routines chipboard on top from an old, very old Week in the Life kit. So now I'm finally ready to put the crumble pocket together. And I'm just determining a piece of the pattern paper to use and if I should put it in the middle between the photos and the card or on the outside. And I opted to go on the outside because it helps balance out the pink. Sorry, I'm losing my voice again here. I'm just going to add that little strip and then glue the photo in place on top, and then that pocket will be ready to go. And then I chose to add my little vellum heart of the day to that photo as well. And now I'm ready to work on my 4x4 pocket. So I realized as I was working on this that I made a typo on one of these photos with my word chicken. There's a K missing. So the next time I print photos, I'll reprint them. So I'm just using my VersaFine ink to get these stamped out. And the stamp's cleaned off. And then I'm just going to use my rolling adhesive to adhere the photos in place, but I wanted them to I wanted it to look complete for the video for you guys to see, and then I'll just redo it later, and if I forget, no big deal. So just getting those in place. And then there I have my journaling printed out on sticker paper. I went with a gray for this one. There's a couple gray letters in the Wednesday stories, and it's also below some photos that have some gray in them, so I thought that worked out well. Just getting that in place, and with a strip of pattern paper on the right hand side like I've been doing. And trimmed and in its home. So happy with that. So here I dug through my stash and found some old Allie Edwards stickers so I could do my little cookie ratings, and I had fun with this actually. First of all, I had to think about what the ratings were. And then I needed something. I had to decide if I was just going to do like a 7 or like 7 out of 10, and if I was willing to use up that many stickers because I was going to do a lot of 1s that way. And I didn't have any coordinating pink letters that matched exactly for the slashes, so I decided to dig for something that I had a lot of sheets of, and I went with the black eyes from this old Kelly Perky set. And I was happy with how this came out. It came out really cute. So just used the metal ruler so that I could get them in place. I'm usually pretty good at lining stuff up, but with the big gaps between them, I didn't want it to look off. So just getting those put down. I used my paper piercer to pick them up and place them so that they're not, my finger's not in the way. I generally touch the bottom of the sticker down gently, and then once I'm sure they're in the position I want them in, then I push them all the way down. So then I decided, I was digging through my stash a little bit looking for other things, and I found these transparency circles from Another Week in the Life kit in the past, and I found the one with clouds, and I decided to go ahead and add that cloud die cut from this year as well. So I just made like a little trilogy. I had lots of room on this photo, and I thought that little grouping of embellishments was kind of fun. And finally, I'm just getting this little orange tag added to the photo. I ended up opting not to put it on the actual taco photo. I put it on the photo of the food. It just needed something. And I'm going to have it go off the edge of the photo, which is something I haven't done yet in the album. So I added a little brad, stuck it on the edge of the photo, and just trimming that off. Just to have it interact with the edge a little bit and be a little interesting. So adding some sticker paper and pattern paper to these and getting them in place. And I will leave you with a live look in just a moment. Okay friends, we are all done with day 3. I've got my transparency here, which you've seen a couple times. Got my timeline for day 3. Picture of the cat, I had forgotten to share that or print it in the beginning. I've got my 6-pocket page protector. Finally got this card in here that I've been wanting to use. Sorry, I have a little piece of something in there. I want to use this one for days. Added this little workspace chipboard here. This is from Felicity Jane. And a little flower on top of here to help bring more yellow in. And then on the back here, I've got my pie style one, and I did today's story. That was the one that coordinated the best. And I decided to, or finally, I really should say, went through my stash and found some stickers that fit well on these little chipboards. So I have some of these round stickers in my stash, and I went back and added some from the previous 2 days as well. So this one just says love this, just in kind of a coordinating color. I've got my card filled out, my Target run, my little flip up here, just a way to sneak in some extra photos there. Here I actually, sorry, these keep slipping out. Here I actually put this across both photos, but because of where this tab is, you actually can't tell, and I didn't even do that on purpose, it just worked out. Ended up really liking using this bright orange tag. There's hardly anywhere else where I'd use that color, but it matches the Doritos perfectly. But I didn't want to like stick it directly on the photo, so I thought that helped pull the color across a little bit. Loved using the snack, lunch, and dinner, and then I thought the corner chipboard was kind of a fun twist. And then here, you probably saw in the early part of the footage that I added the chipboard, and then I remembered I had these die cuts with the cloud, and I'm still debating if I wanted to write anything or just let it be kind of by itself. And then I also added that cloud one from a previous Week in the Life set. Thought that was a cute little cluster. Added one of the larger circles here and my Wednesday tag. I had realized that on Tuesday I didn't have any enlargements and I didn't add one of the large circles, so I want to try to remember to put those on the next few days. Here I did gray journaling, and I added my laundry day chipboard, and I did an evening routines for an old chipboard piece there to kind of layer those together. It just kind of helps tie those photos together so they don't look so disjointed. And then on the back, I put my vellum sticker here, just kind of in some dead space on the photo. And I added my numbers from that old Ali Edwards sticker kit. And I used an older, I have several sets of these. I used some eyes for my slashes because I didn't have any in a matching pink. So I thought that was cute as a way to rate the cookies. And I figured people will understand what that means. But I think that the gray and the pink go great across from here. It's not even anything I'm doing on purpose. It's just worked out really well. And I'm ready to keep moving on to Thursday. From here on out, it's definitely going to get harder, especially to do landscape photos because my photo choices are so few options. I think Thursday might be my last day to really have good choices, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm doing. And it's starting to get a little chunky, if I'm being honest with you. Like, it was already kind of full just from the cards and page protectors and things, but she chunky, and I still have 4 more days to go. So I'm trying to be careful about where my embellishments are being placed. You know, chipboard on top of chipboard isn't great, but you know, it was a look that I chose to go with, and we will see where we end up. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon for day 4. Bye for now.